Hey, what's up everybody? It's Aaron from Heard It Now. It's fucking Nayomi. Oh shit. She's driving crooked now because I distracted her. We're headed up to see Vince Staples and JPEGMAFIA in Los Angeles at the Novo. Pretty much we're gonna vlog our experience, man. Give a little review as to how the live show went.
What up? Aaron getting gas. Getting that LA gas.
Getting that LA gas.
It's gonna be wasted in LA.
Yo, she's over here trying to call it the LA gas. We haven't even begun.
Y'all be eating some Funyuns. The hell you be eating when you fucking road tripping? Go down in the comments.
Oh my god. What is wrong with you?
Yo, and if you're from a country not in the US, let me know what you guys fucking eat while you're fucking road tripping, man.
I got some like beef jerky.
What the fuck? She never says beef jerky. I've never heard my girlfriend say she wanted beef jerky before. This is our first, over 1 hour later. We're still down in Los Angeles. The ocean is the best part of the drive though. Oh shit. Angels Stadium. We're finally on our way to the Novo. It's been quite a journey. It was daytime when I started. It's now nighttime. And the opener, JPEGMAFIA, you know, we don't want to miss him. So, you know, we're fucking going, you know, typical 55 with the hazards on like Nayomi drives. So it's gonna be a while, you know. But we're trying to get there. Trying to make it in time. Pressure's on. Pressure's on, guys. Alright guys, we're back. What felt like a 2-day car trip or something. I mean, geez. This is the merch we copped from the show.
Yeah.
North, of course, right? You know what that's in reference to. My shirt, you probably wouldn't even know what the hell it is on the front, but on the back has all the. Oh
you're
shit!
just
You probably
giving
can't
him an
see.
ass shot,
Looks like I'm fucking.
Oh, now you're twerking for them. This is a tour shirt. I believe that they're recording the whole tour, which is why it says "Smile, you're on camera." Start out with him coming out and it says "Smile, you're on camera." They were showing like footage of the people in the audience, so that's what made me think, like in the background while he was, you know, doing his show. So that's what made me think, they must be like recording the tour. That'd be kind of cool to see.
15 on the nose. Recording the wrong way.
Smile, you're on camera.
So I just wanted to recap the show a little bit since, you know, we're a little too hyped after, you know, to really give a good description as to how it really went. I just want to give people a little bit of an insight as to some of the songs that got the crowd going. One of the first tracks that hit that really got people moving was probably Bag Bag. Bag Bag actually happened later in the show. Yeah, he came out with Feeling Like Summer. Some of the FM tracks like got people dancing and singing, but I mean, if you're talking about like really
Hyping up the crowd.
7:45.
7:45. You'll probably hear me singing that whole song.
You all my life. You all my life. Pretty women that told me lies. You all my life. Pretty women that told me lies. You all my life. Pretty women that told me lies. Told me lies. Told me lies. I mean that 7:45. Your body can't come scoop you up around 7:45. Slide around with my drop top up or down, you down the ride. Look into my.
Some other highlights that got the crowd going, of course, North.
No case, real with the shit. Got broad day,
Everybody knows that song, I mean, and their moms, if they're not crying. The song that came on that I was super jazzed to hear was Blue Suede, which is an older track. I didn't really go in with an idea as to how many older tracks he's gonna play. I assume it was gonna be FM heavy, and so the fact that Blue Suede was one of the tracks he pulled out from his old catalog was pretty cool. Every single track we were singing, the FM tracks like Run the Bands really got people going, especially the chorus. It's a very chanty type chorus.
On 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, hey. Run a man, run a man. Run a man, run a man, hey. Run a man, run a man. Run a man, run a man, hey. Run a man, run a man. Yeah, I don't have to shake it about you once. Run a man, run a man, hey. Yeah, I always been famous where I'm from. Run a man, run a man, hey. Starting from the bottom of the sun. Run a man, run a man, hey. Yes, he always got them on the front.
Now that we covered some of the tracks that he played, another element of the show that was really cool is the fact that he played every single one of his tracks, one after the other, with minimal breaks in between.
Yeah, there was no breaks in between. The dude played straight, like a straight show. Like, usually you'll see, you know, someone like when the lights will go out when they're transitioning songs, and it'll take like a couple extra seconds because they're probably doing like a water bathroom break situation. None of that. None of that. And it was like 110% like the entire time from him. From everybody actually who performed that night. It was really, really cool, the show. By the time Vince Staples came on, the crowd was like ready.
Vince Staples actually rapped to most of his lyrics. He didn't rely on the backing track as much as a lot of modern artists do. I was just almost actually kind of amazed at like how much energy he actually put into each and every track, and the fact that he fit so many tracks in such a condensed amount of time. Like, it wasn't even like a long show, but he filled in a lot of tracks, so it felt like a lot longer than it probably actually was.
Every penny worth it. I'm kind of upset that they added a second show only because I would have paid more for floor seats. Yeah. I feel like, personally, like, we were kind of high up, and the Novo, which is where we saw it, it's a great venue. I would have paid more for the floor seats.
Our concert footage is going to be from the balcony, which we never really sit in, like in any of our venues. But basically that was the only tickets available at the time, and they added a second show because I'm assuming it sold out, which, like she's saying, would have been cool to know because we would have gotten those floor seats. And the only reason why we went there though is because we wanted to see JPEGMAFIA. So to us it was worth seeing JPEG and Vince together, even if we were in the balcony. To be honest, it really didn't deter from the experience all that much. On the silver lining of things, you didn't really have to deal with like people bumping into you, and for me as a guy, I will always worry about my short girlfriends, you know, looking and being able to watch the bands. I personally didn't have to worry about that as much. And the sound quality of the venue was fantastic. It was honestly one of the best sounding venues I've ever been to, the Novo.
Honestly, one of the best experiences overall, like venue wise. We were so close to the bar. We were able to get drinks like pretty easily.
Oh yeah, the
restroom was really accessible to us, and it just sounded good, and it was pretty clear, like all of it.
In the second of like half a JPEG song, I seriously went and took a piss. In between like little gaps of time, I was able to go pick up beers for us. You're kind of holding in your piss. You've been standing in one spot for 3 hours because you don't want to, you know, lose your spot because you're up close. That's usually my experience at a concert. So this was kind of like the first time in years since I've been 21 that I've been at this type of venue in the balcony. I wouldn't change anything about it because it's such a euphoric, fun experience. Like, I don't know if I could have enjoyed it quite the same. I assume I would if I was on the floor. But I mean, I just enjoyed it for what it was where I was at, for sure.
Parking?
Yeah. So JPEGMAFIA was a big reason why we wanted to go to the Novo, because we want to see Vince and JPEG together. We
were going to go to a San Diego show because he is coming here, or did come here, but he wasn't coming with Peggy. We wanted to make the trip up to LA to see Peggy and Vince.
And it was absolutely worth it. I mean, JPEGMAFIA put on a fantastic show. Literally everything you'd want out of a JPEGMAFIA show, he put on.
Talk shit, back it up. No face, throw shade, all game attack. Hey, fuck the captain.
I'm surprised he's able to talk after his shows. Like, he just goes full effort. Baby I'm Bleeding sounded so different because he was trying so hard. Like, he was just pushing so hard that it sounded like a different song almost, like vocal. He didn't really have any backing track.
Yeah.
I think it was just pure microphone and beats, man.
Yeah, it was pure beats and him doing his singing.
That was probably one of the more impressive parts about his show was because it felt like a genuine live performance. Like, I don't want a backing track, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hear them perform.
He was really interactive with the crowd, too.
Yeah.
Like, with his audience up in the front.
Yeah, he went in the crowd multiple times.
Bitch, you know I'm coming down hard with the top down. Cops want me dead in the street cause I'm hot now.
What's crazy is that he was going so fucking nuts and like losing his shit that he actually chipped a tooth on stage.
With his microphone, yeah. Right. He chipped it. He was like literally like, oh my god. I think he was looking at himself on his cell phone. He pulled out his cell phone at one point, like to see the reflection. And he chipped his tooth. He's like, I need to go to the dentist.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, I need to go to the dentist. Like, you could actually hear the genuine, like, real life human, like, moment. Yeah, that sigh of like, fuck. It was funny.
Yeah, I think I commented like the next day, like, how's that chipped tooth?
Yeah,
you know?
I don't mean it was funny. Like, I'm glad that happened to him. I just mean the way he reacted was so like, what am I gonna do about it? You know? And he actually continued on with the show.
Yeah, he was squirming on the floor. You know, laying on it, spitting everywhere.
Like, fuck you, Peggy! Fuck you, Peggy!
Like, it was such a good show.
Yeah.
I feel when someone is putting energy into what they're doing. A lot of people didn't even know who Peggy was or who JPEGMAFIA was. The people who were next to us did, so that was kind of cool. Like, there was pockets where you could tell, like, some people knew more, but, like, everyone was going to his beats because his beats are crazy.
JPEGMAFIA actually released a single, Puff Daddy, with Kenny Beats, and right before he performed that song, he's like, yo, this next song's produced by a white dude, or something like that.
A white man or something.
Yeah. I was just kind of like, is he gonna play Puff Daddy? Not only did he play Puff Daddy, but right before he went into it, freaking Kenny Beats ran out on stage, man. And I don't know, they did like a weird little like handshake. They didn't know what to do with each other, it felt like. Yeah. But it was just more like a, hey man, you're here in LA, like come out and have this moment with me type of thing. And it felt real and genuine and joyous, and the crowd kind of, like, I knew some people knew who Kenny Beats was. And I definitely threw out like a, whoa, Kenny! How can you not, man?
Yeah.
It was so fun, man.
I don't even make no beats. I don't even got no gun, ho. I'm like 28. Give her in my back.
Honestly, one of the most joyous experiences I've ever had a concert ever.
It was probably the best show I've ever been to, as in my life. I was gonna say as an adult, fuck it, in my life, probably like the best show I've ever been to. Everything, the entire experience was fun. Just fun. Except for when they didn't have my tickets at Wilcon, I had to go up and look for them. I got over that real quick once I got inside.
Feeling like, did I do something wrong? Did someone like fake us and like get our tickets? Did, like, what happened? In this section, we're gonna talk about some of the things that happened outside of the show right before we got there.
Yeah, right before we walked into the venue. Everything was crazy. We'll put it this way. Everything was crazy up until we walked into the fucking venue to enjoy the show.
Naomi was at the wheel, and so I was there, you know, on vlogger duty kind of, but also map duty. You know, I'm better with the GPS and the maps and technology, and so we're just trying to find parking, and we're trying to get to the venue. We don't quite know where we're at. We don't quite know what's going on, and we end up in a few spots. And they're saying, hey man, it's valet, and it's some dude wearing like some sports jacket and like a polo. Like, he doesn't even look like official, like staff. It's just like, looks like some random dude. Like, anybody seriously could have been standing there and been like, yo, I'll help you. I'll park your car for you.
Yeah.
And like, it was like one of those things where it's just like, I don't trust this. And it was like in some kind of weird like car mechanic shop. Like, it wasn't even in a proper parking garage that this dude was trying to do valet.
If any of you know where like the Staples Center is, you'll know that there's like right across from the Staples Center, there's like maybe like 4 parking structures, and they were fucking packed. And when I say they were packed with people. Like, I don't think everyone was trying to go to the show that we were going to. Like, there was a lot of shit going on that night, so it was just crawling with people and with cars.
We tell this guy, like, no, dude, we don't want to give you our keys.
Like, yeah, he's like, if you don't want to park in valet, you can go to the parking structure that we had literally just pulled out of because it looked packed.
Yeah.
And I thought that they were one, I actually thought that they were connected because the only thing separating them was a tiny little alley. But whatever. We go into the parking lot that's park your own car. And then we see this girl standing in like the tiniest little spot. Like you could tell she's saving the spot for someone.
Yeah, I was ready to jump her. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I was like literally like, I don't care if I fit, I'm gonna fucking park there.
Yeah, we were kind of almost to that point of anxiety where we were about to argue probably for a spot potentially.
I would have just actually tried pulling in because I don't give a shit. Like she's on a car. So I would have pulled in, but I knew that I didn't fit there. So I kind of like was like looking at the spot and I was like, I don't fit. My car doesn't fit there. It was like too uncomfortable for me because I don't want my car to get hit. I was just like, we're not going to even be able to get out like of the doors like at this point if we try to park there. By the way, it's only like a one-way car situation. So if there's two cars going, someone's going to have to back up and reverse. So out of nowhere, as I was going to pull forward to get out of there, the car that she's waiting for whips around the corner, right? And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for him to try to park his car, and then I'll keep going straight, keep looking for parking.
Oh my god.
So I reversed a little bit to let this guy attempt to park, his car. He starts turning into the spot, and the car that's parked next to him, to the right of him, the alarm starts going off.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, we knew that he hit it. Like, because it was that tight of a space.
Yeah. But, like, I was like, it wasn't the mirror. You could tell it wasn't the mirror or the front. It was literally the body of the car.
Yeah, it was
the body of the
exactly.
car.
It was like body on body. It was just kind of like bad. You just like
his door was probably fucked up.
Right, it was gonna be a door smash / scraping. It was gonna be bad.
Like door to like the tail end of the parked car.
Yeah, and like you know, yeah, and you knew when the dude was gonna back out, you could maybe hear it, like that type of thing.
And he looked like a younger dude. And he kind of started laughing as he's looking at his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, nervous laugh. And he hauled ass. Like, he reversed so fast. And he looked at us. Like, he gave us, like, a quick glance or whatever. And he's kind of, like, nervous laughing. And me and him are kind of, like...
Yeah, we just witnessed him hit that car. And I'm just like, oh, he hit that car. He hit that car.
Like, we're, like, literally, like, shocked faces. Like, my mouth was, like, literally, like, open. And I'm just, like...
And all of a sudden, he just put the freaking pedal.
He stomped on the gas in reverse and hit the parked car. It was
behind
a parked SUV, a black SUV, and just...
Bam! Like he just got finished hitting that sedan, and he literally just, bam, hit the reverse so fast without turning his wheel, anything, that he ended up smashing into a totally different SUV.
And honestly, guys... Honestly, like, I'm glad he wasn't recording this because I didn't want to get, like, followed, shot at, stabbed, anything fucking crazy. You know, people, if somebody thinks, like, oh my god, I'm going to get in trouble, like, you never know, you know? So, honestly, I'm really glad that you weren't recording at that exact moment because we...
I mean, at the time, like, her phone was occupied because we were using it for, GPS and, like, trying to find...
Music, and, we're driving.
Right, we're trying to coordinate. Like, my eyeballs are... looking for parking. They cannot be vlogging at this. But we didn't have the phone ready and, equipped to freaking record this event. It was pretty insane. And we were just theorizing, like, did he dip? Did he dip? Did he stay? Yeah,
well, what we ended up doing right after he hit the car was I told him, I was like, dude, I don't want this guy to freak out and try to drive straight through, because it was only a one-way car. Like I said, one-way car situation. So I was just waiting for him to park and I was going to drive straight through. I ended up hauling ass, reversing out of there into this alley that I told you was separating these two parking structures. And I fucking went straight through the alley and I went to another area to look for parking. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm not about to get killed and have my car fucked up in some ghetto ass little parking lot. Yeah. Like, for real,
He was just on the tear. He's so nervous.
He fucked up his car in so many spots that night. Like, the back end of his car got like, and you heard something break. I don't know if it was the parked SUV front something broke there, or the back of his car something broke there. But like when he slammed, he was probably going like 40, like, like it was so crazy.
I thought the girlfriend would be really animated, but she just seriously acted like nothing was going on.
Oh, yeah. And then the girl was literally she had her arms crossed in the spot as she was, like, saving it. She's wearing, like, this little skirt and, like, a little tube top, and she's just, like, freezing her ass off, waiting for this guy to, like, park his car. And she's just like this the whole time.
Yeah, like emotionless as he's smacking into cars.
She's
like,
smacking and park the fucking car.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like the thought that was going through her head probably. But
yeah, like she pulled out a cigarette like mid him fucking pulling away from the smacked SUV.
No, she
like
didn't.
she's just chilling, dude. Like
She was literally just had her arms crossed and she was like,
yeah.
It was so weird. It was, and then finally we parked, and they didn't have our tickets at the will call table.
We were walking towards the venue, and she actually saw Boo from Orange is the New Black. Me, Nayomi. We're in Los Angeles and it smells like shit. It smells bad right now, but it could just be this particular location.
Oh my god. I didn't say hi because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I get shy.
Oh shit, we just saw Boo from Orange is the New Black.
Dude.
Right when we were talking about how shitty it smelled.
Dude, I am like starstruck right now.
Oh shit.
Literally just standing outside of the hotel right there next to the Regal by the Staples Center.
After she's too shy to say what up to Boo, we head to the Novo and they don't have our tickets at the will call. And so we're like all having like a miniature panic attack.
I wasn't like that nervous. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get in because I have like all my proof.
I was still like, what the fuck?
Why do I have to go out of my way? You should go up there and bring me my fucking tickets down here, lady. But
yeah, no, but everything was pretty much solved once we got out there. It wasn't too much of a hassle.
And I had a beer as soon as I walked in, and I was good. It took the edge off, and we're golden.
Yeah.
Golden the rest of the night.
After the euphoric show, basically I didn't star the car, like where we were parked. I didn't like locate it on our map. And so we walked in the wrong direction for a quick second. And we knew, like, we're like, dude, I don't remember walking through 20 hot dog vendors. Like, that's the first thing that hit me wrong.
Yeah.
Was like, dude, I feel like we made a misstep somewhere. And I started kind of having a miniature, like,
yeah, because I turned around and I was like, we're walking the right direction, right? And he's like, wait, what? And I was like, wait, you don't have your phone out. You're not guiding us? And I was just walking ahead. It's
something I always do. In an area I don't know, I always pinpoint where we park.
And
like,
my phone will usually mark my parked car, but it didn't that night.
She was the one. She pulled out our valet ticket, like Sherlock Holmes, right? Thinking, oh, the address was going to be on there.
Stamped or something.
The problem is this valet was like another freaking like makeshift valet. It was like another fake thing. So it was just like a general ticket, dude.
Like the tickets you can buy in bulk or something.
Yeah, like,
just, rip one half and hold on to one half.
Right. We had the address to like Smart and Final or something like that.
But then I had another idea. And I was like, wait, what did I walk past? I walked past the hotel and past this Regal Cinema because I was like, oh, look, there's a Regal right here when we had just left the valet, like left the car parked. So I just like stopped and I'm like looking and I'm like, where's the Regal? And I just see like the Regal like across the street, totally in a different direction.
It wasn't that far, but if we would have kept walking in the same direction that we would have, like we would have been way lost. Like I'm glad that we just had that feeling of like it wasn't right. Something didn't feel right. It was like a pretty simple pathway to get to the venue from the parking spot, so it wasn't too hard to find it.
But another issue that we had, or one of the reasons why we kind of started panicking a little bit, is because we had till 12:30 to get to the car. That's the time that the man who was holding our keys, the valet person, was going to be closing the place, so we wouldn't be able to get our car.
Oh, yeah.
And it was already midnight when we walked out of the show. It was exactly 12. So we had already been walking for like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, we have 20 minutes to find our fucking car. That was like when we started panicking. But, you know, 5 minutes of panic, 5 minutes of like me like, oh my god, where am I looking? What am I looking for? I found it. It was pretty quick once we got there.
We ended the night going to a little birthday party. Yeah, and so
family birthday party.
Right. Had a couple beers and, you know, relaxed, man. And that was the end of the night for us.
Oh, and there's people screaming. We're at a fucking party.
Yeah, you know, if people aren't screaming at your party, it's not the right party.
Good end to a stressful night.
There were moments that caused stress and would normally bring down any experience, but like the concert was so great, the vibe was so right that like nothing could have ruined it. Even now, like we think back on it, I mean, any little thing that went wrong we can just laugh at, and you know, it was honestly one of the best experiences I've had, period. Just about everything I can ask for. That was a great concert, guys.
Great show. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. I would do it again, and I would go to a show there again.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. And then now that I know the area better, it makes me feel a little bit better.
Alright guys, hopefully you like this video. I know it's a different type of video. It was a concert vlog, alright? It wasn't something you probably expected from us. But I genuinely hope that you had a good time watching it and just had, you know, a little bit of an idea as to what you can expect going to a Vince Staples show. And also a little bit of an insight as to how our experience both in and outside of the show went. It was obviously pretty hectic, but overall, like I said, one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Me too.
Bye everybody.